Well, I'm glad we've got British shows back on the podcast.
I forgot I did a podcast with Captain Brexit.
Yeah, I've opened up the wrong spreadsheet. What are we doing?
Unforgiven and The Capture. And what we probably will end up discussing is the fact that it's not Unforgiven, the wrestling pay-per-view event.
Yeah, I suspect we will also digress somewhat
into a show that we previously watched in a previous episode.
Yes.
You won't believe the number 9 thing we said about it. Doctors hate it.
Well, Brexit doctors do. Because it's German.
Now, to give a little clue about what it is we're talking about, we have a website. It's copilotspodcast.co.uk. It's the best website in the world. I actually had that verified by Sir Winston Churchill. He did look at our website and he said, you know, that's the best website I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, he was also a bigoted racist, so yeah, I think he'd like our website.
Yeah, there is that, but also did win the war, I suppose, so
and he really championed whiskey, so, you know, that's something I could get behind.
You can tweet us on the Twitters. What's our Twitter handle?
Real Co-Pilots.
Thank you. What is our Instagram handle?
The Real Co-Pilots.
And what is our Bebo address? Check out our MySpace page.
Oh, we could make a MySpace page.
We could. Is MySpace still going?
Yes.
Is MySpace going to be like vinyl? Like in 10 years' time, people will go back to using MySpace.
I hope so. I miss MySpace. I was talking to someone about MySpace the other day because I was just like, MySpace was just really good. Also, I got our Instagram handle wrong. It's the Real Co-Pilots podcast.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I know it's important to mention what other content you make apart from shitty thumbnails.
Professional.
Yeah. Do you know what would be more professional if all of our handles matched?
Yeah, but we couldn't do that, so never mind, eh? Yeah. Enjoy us talking about people who've recently left prison and are trying to re-acclimatise.
Yeah. One of them doesn't try as hard as the other. He goes off and does an assault, doesn't he?
End up hanging himself from a rafter and saying Brooks was here.
That was dark.
My PC just made a funny noise. Let's see how long we can last. To be fair, I did reboot it a little while ago, so it should be okay.
Well, fingers crossed.
We're continuing to have technical difficulties thanks to Windows 11. This week's technical difficulties is brought to you by Windows 11. To fuck your PC right up.
All of your technical difficulties are Windows 11.
Yeah. Which, do you know what? It's a good thing that isn't the program that runs the entire fucking PC. That's really helpful.
It's also really good that there is a way that you can go back to. Oh wait.
Hang on a minute. Ugh.
I mean, you could reinstall Windows.
Also, I'm drinking a hot toddy that tastes like chocolate, which is very strange.
Yeah, I think you've done something wrong.
I don't know what I could
but
have done wrong.
You very politely told me that it's not Nutella.
It's whiskey, it's honey, and it's a bit of hot water, and it hasn't got cloves in it or the lemon, which apparently, according to BBC Good Food, you should put in it. But
the cloves is a really strong flavour to clear your nose out.
Maybe I should have put some cloves in it then.
Do you have cloves?
Yeah, but then they would have just floated about, wouldn't it? Do you reckon a clove would float? Anyway, this isn't.
I reckon a clove would float. Yeah.
This isn't top quality content.
Yeah, but the stuff where the shows aren't happy shows, so.
I hate referring to stuff as content. I have to do it quite a lot in my job, and I hate it.
That's the thing. This isn't content. This is
It's
the
also
dross
sure as-
that we put out every couple of weeks.
It's also sure as fuck not a job because we're not making any money from it.
That you know about, but also yes.
What? To be fair, at this point, if we did start making money, I think I'd be just happy for you to have it because I just show up.
Because it wouldn't be very much.
Yeah. Right. We've got a couple of British crime TV shows this week. Can I have a guess of the theme, please?
You can have a guess. I will tell you if I think it sounds like it was exactly what I was thinking of when I paired these shows together.
Is it recently released convict tries to re-establish themselves in society? Is that the theme that you were going for?
Almost. My theme was starts in prison.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's there or thereabouts, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't really care about what they did once they got out.
Oh, okay.
They just had to have two characters start in prison. It wasn't Orange is the New Black. Oh, she doesn't start in prison.
No, she goes to it, didn't she? Didn't she?
Yeah.
Which one of these do you want to start with?
We could do it by release year.
Okay.
Or
You're gonna have to tell me.
Unforgiven was 2009.
Alright, we'll go with that. So, Unforgiven then. It's a western starring Clint Eastwood and Morgan Freeman.
Yep, yeah, we watched the same thing, for sure.
Well, I mean, I hope it's that, because otherwise I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
I was hoping maybe the TV show that I specifically told you. Because I did, when I first looked for it, I was like, oh shit. There are a lot of shows called Unforgiven.
The 1999 Unforgiven was the second annual Unforgiven professional wrestling pay-per-view event, produced by the World Wrestling Federation, now WWE. It took place on September 26, 1999, at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. Although the event was the second Unforgiven PPV held, it was the first Unforgiven not held under the In Your House series, which had been discontinued in February 1999.
Yeah, who did Saran Jones play in that?
I think The Undertaker. I mean, The Undertaker's on the poster, so...
Yeah, but the show that we're here to talk about is our favourite sort of show, limited series.
Yes. Always good to have a limited series.
Yeah, that is Unforgiven, which follows someone coming out of prison and some weird
Ruth
shit
Slater.
going.
Ruth Slater. Come on, you
Yeah.
can do this.
Oh, I couldn't see her name on the Wikipedia page.
I could have told you that. I watched it yesterday and I could have told you it was... Actually, no, I watched it on...
Yeah, well, one of us was ready to record last week.
Yeah, there is that.
And she murdered some police officers in a house that other people now live in.
And, quite hilariously, think is haunted. I really enjoyed that portion of the story. The fact that they think that the house is haunted.
Yeah. I mean, the table flipping with the help me written on it, I was like, One of the kids is 100% just been like, Mom thinks this house is haunted.
I mean, to be fair, there was a part of me that was like, I would fucking love it if just out of nowhere they went, yeah, no, also ghosts. I
mean,
would
to be
really
fair,
enjoy that.
It's entirely possible.
Well, this is the thing, is it could still happen. Like, because it's not resolved in episode 1, but for a Sally Wainwright drama, it would very much surprise me. So Sally Wainwright, who of course you'll remember, did Scott and Bailey with Saran Jones again, and Happy Valley, which is one of my favourite TV shows ever. And I think there is supposed to be another series of Happy Valley happening, but I'm not sure when that's coming out. But that's a fantastic show. I think we've done it on this, haven't we?
I can't remember if that was the first time you'd seen it or if you'd watched it before.
No. Well, this is the thing. So Lisa watched it. She'd watched the whole thing, and she was convinced that I'd seen it. So we started watching it, and she was like, "Do you remember this?" And I was like, "Right, I don't know how else to say this to you. I have never seen this before." She was, "You absolutely have." I mean, I definitely haven't, but sure.
Yeah, and then is that the one show that you've taken away from the podcast and watched?
No, because here's the thing: Dark. I have really gotten into Dark. I'm now on episode, I think, 5 or 6 of Dark.
Oh, rookie numbers. I'm on episode 8.
What? Fuck, really? I thought I was getting one over on you then.
No, do you think you would get one over on me because this week I finished off I finished 2 seasons of Alex Rider and Legends of Vox Machina and something else. Oh, I watched a film. I can't remember what it was though. Really good.
I've really, because obviously we have our shared spreadsheet of stuff that we've watched, and I've really slackened this year. I think because I went so hard on it last year that I was like, I definitely want to get to, 100, and then in June I hit 100, so I was like, fuck it, let's go for 2. I'm only on 16 films this year.
I'm only on 10 films, but I've watched 14 TV seasons.
Jesus, that's a lot.
It's not too bad. Like, some of them aren't. Like Legends of Vox Machina, I did that in 2 days, and it only took 2 days because I caught up. I watched 9 episodes, and then they hadn't released the last 3 yet, and I was like, oh well, guess I'm done.
Yeah, so it's taken 7 series, but I have finally carried on watching a show that wasn't Gilmore Girls.
I don't know. Dark is very similar in tone.
Oh yeah, extremely. Should we? Do you want to go on a bit of a tangent very quickly about Dark?
Yeah.
Because obviously.
Okay. Yeah. Just how confused are you?
I'm not as confused as I feel like I should be, which leads me to think I'm missing something.
Well, that's the thing. I can't remember what's happened where you're up to.
Okay, so the bit that I'm at, it is just the final part of the episode I watched. It was just revealed that Mikkel and Mikael are the same person, but I kind of had already twigged that one.
Yeah, I sort of twigged that when I was like,
Jonas's
they're not really gonna. They're not trying. No one's trying real hard to bring him back.
No, and also, like, just looking outside, I think this is probably where I benefit from having seen that pilot 3 times, but having watched it and realised that, okay, so that stranger who comes to town, well, the guy who kills himself in 2019 would have been about 30. Mikkel goes missing, and if he'd stayed there in present day, would be about 30. So I just assumed it was So that was it was nice to have it confirmed, because something I am finding about that show is that I've got all these different ideas of what's going on floating around, and it's not that heavy on confirming a lot of stuff at the minute.
Don't worry. There is, I think, a scene. It might be an episode. It's 7 or 8.
Yep.
Where they do where someone's also in the show is trying to piece it all together.
Okay. Cool.
And they confirm, or maybe not confirm, but they have. Simply because you sent me you're trying to work out the family tree.
Yeah.
And I saw this thing in the show, and I was like, okay, yeah. But just to let you know, it gets way more complicated.
Yeah, I thought it would do. So there's the big stuff that's happened is Hannah has accused Ulrich of assaulting Catherine. Is it Catherine or Katharina? I can't remember.
Katerina, I think.
Katerina. The police, the detective's husband, it's been revealed, has previously had affairs with men, and that transgender sex worker who lives in a caravan.
Who feels like a character that should be more important than it seems so far. Because it feels
it's
odd
like a
lot
to
of setup.
Yeah, it's odd to have introduced that person. I don't know why. If they're not that relevant, then why bother shooting? Do you know what I mean? Like I approach things these days of like, okay, why are you showing me this? Rather than just watching something, I'm always going, why am I being shown this? And a lot of the times, it'll be because there's a setup and a payoff. So they could have quite easily have said, oh, so she suspects him that he's cheating again. She could just confront him saying, did you go and see that person again? There wasn't really a reason to film that character as such, unless they are going to come back in a slightly important way.
And it felt like Dark is definitely shot in a way that is like, if you can see it, it's important.
Yeah. I'm so intrigued. I don't know what it is yet, but it was literally at the end of not the episode I've just watched, but the one before that. There is a machine, and I have absolutely no idea what that machine is. It's like a clockwork machine.
Yeah, you're a few episodes away from that, but that does get
so I've watched,
sorted out.
Yeah, I've watched 5, so my next one is going to be 6, and I was going to watch some later on tonight actually, so I might have a bit of time to watch a couple.
Yeah, I had a whole breaks of just I think I watched a couple episodes, then watched all of Alex Rider, and then went back for some more.
The something I am finding with Dark, more than possibly any other show I've watched, is that I need to keep on top of it, because like I know that if I go off the boil and I leave it a week or two, it's just going to all disappear from my head, and I'm not going to have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, that's where I am with Dark, which is the most I've watched something other than Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
That came from this.
So are you saying that if you were, say, in prison for 15 years for killing 2 police officers, you would forget where you were in Dark?
Quite possibly. It depends. Am I getting a telly in myself? Am I getting a Netflix subscription?
No, because it's also 2009.
Okay, well, maybe...
Well, I mean, maybe not at the start of your 15-year prison sentence.
So here's the thing. This is what's happened, though. In a similar way to Dark, I have found a way to travel back to the year 2009. So, I'm going to take the idea of Netflix back with me and go and pitch it. Although Netflix has existed for like far longer than we all realised, doesn't it? Because it was like Love Film.
It used to be like, like they send out DVDs and stuff.
Yeah. God, I can remember when Netflix first started, and the case was that Love Film had way better selection than Netflix, and Netflix was a bit of a joke. And now it's just a fucking powerhouse.
I remember doing my 1 month trial of Netflix at uni, and feeling like I'd got to the end of it.
Yeah.
And being like, well, I've watched.
Isn't that insane?
They had so many Japanese martial arts films.
Mm.
Maybe probably more so than they do now, but I watched a load of those. I think I watched a bunch of. They had Jackie Chan documentaries and stuff as well. It was great.
I do like Jackie Chan. He's an incredible physical performer.
Yeah, and stuntman coordinator.
Yeah.
Thing.
I got to be honest. When we started recording this podcast about Saran Jones coming out of prison in Yorkshire, I didn't think we would be discussing Jackie Chan too much.
No, it's weird the way he just sneaks up on you and just is there. So there's a great video of him singing "I'll Make a Man Out of You" in Cantonese.
Here's something very strange. There is a film version of Unforgiven called The Unforgivable. It was released in a limited release on November 24th, 2021. Oh, prior to streaming on Netflix on December 10th. Sandra Bullock's in it. It made $13,000 in Korea.
Okay.
Oh dear. The Unforgivable. Yes, it's on. It is actually on Netflix. They made a 2-hour film out of it.
Well, I mean, they only just got over 2 hours in the 3 episodes.
Yeah. I
imagine the 3 episode run's probably better.
Why do you think she killed the 2 police officers?
I think it was in self-defense or in defense of her sister, who's now in a coma.
Do you think that her sister actually did it and she took the rap for it?
And then she remembers, and that's why she's gone off the rails and is now in a coma.
Yes. I'll be honest, I forgot about the whole coma thing.
Yeah, it was a really weird one, because I found myself just being like, in the same way with, like, we were talking about with Doug, that I was like, why do I care about these characters that aren't Ruth, who've just come out of prison?
Yeah.
Why are you showing me this, like, nice family living in this nice house in the countryside? Until they sort of, halfway through the episode, are like, oh yeah, this is where she used to live, and she has, like, that weird flashback, and she's like, oh yeah, there's a police officer just lying on the floor, like, help me, I've been shot. But more Yorkshire.
Have you ever thought about going into acting? Because I was taken straight back there.
No, I never really thought about it. I've just got, a lack of talent, really. But I found myself just being like, I just want to understand, and I want to know. And then I was like, it's only 3 episodes. I could find out.
This is the other thing. It's 3 episodes, but they're still only like 45 minutes or something.
Yeah, it's the thing. This, as soon as I saw like the episode count, I was like, oh, this is one of the shows that like we just watch and we just knock out, and we're just like, yep. That I really enjoyed that. It's like The Replacement that I've seen all of that you still haven't, because
Was that the Scottish one?
yeah,
The one we had to buy DVDs for?
yes.
Yeah, I've still got that somewhere. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, you should watch the rest of it. I don't know where the DVD, my copy is anymore, but I finished it, so it doesn't matter.
I seem to remember it ends with someone falling down some stairs.
The first episode.
The first
yes.
episode, I mean, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, that was really. I don't know why they don't just make more of these limited runs.
I'll tell you what else was a good one. There was
Dracula.
3 episodes long. Yes, Dracula was insane. That was actually better than one I was going to suggest. Whitechapel as well. That was really good.
Was Whitechapel a 3? Oh, it was 3 episodes a season, and then they put up to 6, but did 3 copycats per season.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. As soon as they stopped doing like 3 episode seasons, I was like, nah, I'm done.
Well, it was as soon as it stopped being about, a copycat of Jack the Ripper, then it was like, well, I don't really know why you're still going, to be honest. So
Yeah. Do you know my favourite limited run? EastEnders.
when did that start? Like, could we watch
the 80s?
EastEnders pilot? That must exist somewhere. First ever episode. Reg Cox is murdered.
Oh, that's good. It started on an upbeat note then. It didn't go...
Oh my god, Dirty Den's in it.
Yeah, so is Adam Woodyatt.
Really? Fucking hell. He must
Yeah.
have been like a kid.
Yeah, it's the only job he's ever had.
Bloody hell. I mean, that's a career, isn't it?
Well, it's something.
Jesus.
But do you think, it being a 3 episode run that's nice and short, do you think you'll finish it? Or were you not that interested?
I really don't know, because Sally Wainwright sort of gets a free pass for anything in my book. Like, I think she's an incredible writer and she writes amazing characters. Saran Jones, I've got a bit of fatigue with her, to be honest, because she just is. She's in quite a lot, and I don't always get on with her performances all that much. Siobhan Finneran, though, I will watch her do absolutely anything. I really don't know. Like, I feel like if I had, like, just an afternoon or something, and want much going on, I'll just.
If you had
carry it on.
another hour and a half.
Yeah. But like the trouble is like now I'm super invested in Dark, so that's taking up any sort of spare TV time I have. I am finding that Lisa's a bit more busy these days, so I do find a bit more time to just nip off and do something, you know, just for me, which is nice. But that time I've been filling with, you know, Dark. I might carry on with this, you know, like in between episodes of Dark or whatever, because
when you just need a break from thinking about
concentrating, and so Dark, I think, is more complicated because, well, A, it's about a really complicated subject matter, but B, you're also having to translate. Like,
yeah, you can't not pay attention because you have to read the subtitles,
which is good in a way because it means like I'm super like laser focused when I'm watching it, because if I don't read the subtitles,
I have found myself once I looked at my phone then just I lost my. I was just like, right, I'm going to have to rewind like 3 minutes.
Go back, yeah. Do you think you'll probably finish this? I imagine, won't you?
Oh, definitely. It's like 2 more episodes. I could do that before we finish this. But I think I will. It was good, and knowing that there's like not that much left to watch. It sounds really shit, but that makes me sort of just go, I could just finish it and then I've watched it. And then I can tell you if it's worth watching, and then you'll ignore me and never watch it.
I'm just going for. Do you think you'll continue with Unforgiven 1999, where Stone Cold Steve Austin serves as the special outside enforcer for the 6-pack challenge match, which was between Triple H, The Rock, Mankind, Kane, Big Show, and British Bulldog? You gonna carry on that one?
Do you know? Probably not, because it's all fake bullshit. Speaking of fake bullshit,
hey, yeah. What?
I was talking about the evidence in his trial.
Obviously. Oh yeah. There's something shady going on. There's something real shady going on there, isn't there?
Yeah. Do you know the thing that I found the most shady?
We're on to the capture now, by the way.
Yeah, is that they list Ron Perlman as in the credits for the first episode, but he's not in it.
Him.
Yeah, no, neither did I. And he, fair play to him, is a very distinct looking individual.
Yeah, once he shaved his horns.
I think even without, if he never was Hellboy, I mean, to be fair, he probably wouldn't be in as many things, but he'd still be a distinct looking man.
Yeah, I mean, if he weren't super good friends with Guillermo del Toro, he probably wouldn't be in as many things either. Because that's why he's sort of cast in a lot of stuff. Is he's really good friends with Guillermo. So he's in Nightmare Alley. He's got it's not a massive role, but he pops up in that. I really like Ron Perlman. I think he's great.
So do I. I did get a bit fatigued with him because I watched
Sons of Anarchy.
6 seasons of Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. I should really finish that off because I think I'm quite close to the end.
Oh, my dad he was like, so he finished it, but like he was so bloody minded about it because he was like, I can't stand it anymore. It's ridiculous, but I have to know how it ends.
Yeah.
Okay, so the capture. This is I like the concept of this, you know. So the idea is, at the very start, we see there's somebody who's working for a CCTV company. They see something which is it's not revealed to us until later, but it turns out that she then begins to report an assault. We then cut to a soldier whose case is being reviewed in prison. Oh, he's been court-martialed, isn't he?
Oh, I think he's already been court-martialed and dismissed from the military, and then he's got a criminal trial
because he suspected of war crimes, which specifically one, he killing a surrendered unarmed opponent.
And then I think the implication is also they tried to cover it up by shouting like, "Get the fuck back!"
Yes. and then
until
Paul Ritter shows up.
It unravels beautifully. They just go. Like, I'm not 100% sure. Is the drifting thing where the audio? I know it's a thing when you're watching, but I didn't know it was a thing on recording.
I suppose in theory it could, but like, this is the mad thing: is that the massive plot hole in this whole thing is that the helmet camera on another soldier is used against him to show that he, shoots this unarmed guy who's on the floor. He maintains he didn't shoot. He shouted first, and then sorry. He shouted first, and then the enemy reaches for something, so that's when he shoots him. But the way he gets cleared is Paul Ritter shows up and says, "Oh yeah, the cameras that they use are these shitty Poundland GoPro things." And oh, okay, well, what's wrong with those? He says, "Oh, well, I wouldn't ever use any of those because of the drifting. The image appears, the audio appears 5 seconds out of sync with the pictures." And I just think the simple truth of it is that A, that would have been discovered in the court-martial, and B, I don't think the army would have used them.
No, they'd either have used specific body cams or probably GoPros. But I mean, in that short segment, GoPros get a lot of mentions that I don't think they paid for. But yeah,
I guess if they're saying the GoPro's a superior product, though, surely the people at GoPro are going to be like, "Well, we're not going to argue with this." No,
not at all. But then they don't specifically mention a brand of the shitty knockoff one.
Oh, they do. It's a really shit. It's called Razer or something. You mentioned.
Yeah, it'll be a company that don't actually make a camera.
Yeah.
For libel reasons.
Sorry, my throat's really dry.
It's alright, wet it with your
with
chocolate hot toddy.
It's not really working, it doesn't seem.
It'll be the lack of clothes, that.
No, I'm fully clothed.
But then, obviously, so he gets out, and then he goes pub, like you would.
He doesn't drink, though. He's very quick to point out, I don't drink, I'm a good boy.
He doesn't drink, and gets very offended at his mate, who makes some racist comments.
Yeah, it is kind of basically like, oh no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So this is odd that this is happening to him. I thought it was kind of as a little bit heavy-handed, not necessarily with him having to go at his mate for being horrible. But
yeah, because you shouldn't.
I'm spending all night in the pub. I'm not drinking. It's like, okay, we get it.
Okay, we get it. You'd have ruined a lot of people's nights out. Oh, let me buy you a drink. Yeah, I'll have a Coke.
Yes, so then he leaves the pub and his party that his granddad's throwing for him. He says to his barrister, "Oh, let's be more than friends." And she sort of says, "Yeah, fine, alright then, why not? I'll see you later." Goes off, gets a bus. And then
Croydon being Croydon,
he is arrested for her kidnap and suspected murder.
Yeah.
He's all like, "What the fuck?" Doesn't know
the thing
about it.
thing that I really liked about his police interview is that even if you not watching as a TV show, but if that was a real situation and you're the people interviewing him and he's there yeah, and what? My brain would just be like, I don't think he knows what he's about to watch on this security footage. But I mean, he doesn't help himself by, when he's being arrested, punching a bunch of police officers, and then after he's shown the videotape, then assaulting more police officers.
Yeah, really doesn't do himself any favours, does he? So then he's shown the evidence on which the basis of which he was arrested. and it's the footage of him with his barrister, which is what the person working in CCTV sees at the start, and it shows from what he says, it shows a different series of events. It shows him attacking her and carting her off, and he maintains, oh no, she got on that bus, this is ridiculous, what's this? And then at the very end of the episode, he appears to have a flashback to him punching his barrister in the face and dragging her away.
But then that could be planted by the fact that he's just watched someone that he has confirmed is him do it. So it's a weird one. And what I quite like is that in this, because normally you get like, with a show like that, you'd get like the police officer's the goodie. But of these two, it's like the two like lead characters, you've got I've just been to prison and I've been exonerated, and you've got Rachel, who's not a particularly like good person. Like, she seems good at her job, but she's having an affair with a superior officer.
Yeah.
And it sort of, I guess it sort of makes out that maybe, I suspect that she's going to end up on his side. Be like, I don't think he did it. Because I'm still convinced that he didn't do it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been faked.
And my favourite thing is that the evidence is the unreliable narrator.
Yeah. There is a bus that goes past, and I think that's where they could have snuck an edit point in.
Yeah. The thing that I don't fully understand how they'd have managed is to get the footage around the time that he was there, which was fed into that camera spot live, and to then already know to either pre-plan it and have it played into that feed live, or to like mess with events enough.
Because to pre-plan it, you'd have to know. Well, she'd have to be in on it. Really, that's the only way it could have worked. Which that could be.
That's an interesting point. I hadn't even thought about that she might be in on it. Because if they only see his face at the beginning when he's confirmed that it's him and for the kiss, and then he leaves out of shot, but they also have to steal his car because that gets pinged on the police cameras.
Unless they just nick the plates.
That is much easier, but they'd also need like a Rover 45 because they then verified on camera. So, I mean, it's doable, but it's difficult. Or he did it.
or he just did it.
Which I don't think is a very good conspiracy like thriller. Oh yeah, you know that thing we saw in the first episode? We've just wasted your time. He did it.
Oh yeah, he definitely did that.
Yeah. But this again is only 5 more episodes to watch. So
will you carry on watching this?
I think so, yeah. I mean, unless episode 2 is ridiculous, then I probably will. If there are, like, you know, in some show, it doesn't necessarily happen with BBC shows, but in some lesser TV channels, like the rest of them, they try and make you do like mental gymnastics that don't really follow. You have to make big leaps. I don't want a show like that. I just want something that's like, oh look, here's a bit of evidence, here's how they might have faked it, here's what your boy is doing, like Army Boy's doing, and then. But if it just shows him like in prison the whole time, just be like, it's a conspiracy, I don't care. But if it's him, if he somehow gets out on bail or escapes, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because then I like the idea that the show is a lot more focused around like the CCTV side of things rather than the like people side of things.
Yeah, I think it's a cooler thing to hang it on, rather than it being like, oh no, it's a mental thing, he just doesn't remember doing it. It's cool. It's more in keeping with the theme of the show that it's actually playing around with the video evidence is the thing.
It would be more interesting if, say, like, because the first season's 6 episodes, so if by episode 3 he's convinced he did it, and he's then out trying to retrace his steps and work out what's happened, but with the belief that he did it, and he's just like, well, I need to figure it out, find out where I've left her or what's happened to her, and then I'll just turn myself in.
Yeah.
To then at that point discover like a big conspiracy that leads on to a season 2 that they've already confirmed they're doing, then that's going to be like an interesting piece. But it'll come back to like the fact that he got off with that thing in the desert anyway.
Yeah. I still think I'm not sure about that, you know. The evidence of the dodgy cameras, I still reckon he did that one.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. He shot the guy for sure. It's the order of events.
Yeah. No, I think they've just gone for a convenient thing.
But that's the thing. Or the evidence already at that point, like the ghosting, drifting thing, wasn't a real thing. But they've edited the video so that it's a part. And then this other guy's just been like, oh, well, if I just put it back to where it was.
Yeah.
And then that's why he's now been targeted. It's an interesting story, potentially, I think.
Yeah.
But they could fumble it. And, you know, I just want to see Ron Perlman. Sons of Anarchy's not on Netflix anymore, so I don't know where I was.
Is it not? I think it's on Disney Plus.
Oh, do I have to start it again?
Oh, what? Because you're not sure where you got to.
Yeah, I'll be able to figure out it's somewhere.
Well, good. I'm glad that clears that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I am going to carry on watching this one. I did really like it, to be fair. Like, I don't know if I preferred it to. I've actually just.
That's the thing. I think
what the other show's called.
Unforgiven. I think the two of them are different. They're different enough that I wouldn't really want to compare them.
It's a good job we haven't just done a podcast doing exactly that.
Well, that's the thing. We don't ever really compare them. We just talk about them individually and just be like, there's a theme though. But I think I'll probably continue watching both of them.
Yeah, they're decent shows. Like, of all the ones we've done, they are in the better half, for sure.
I think definitely. We've definitely watched shitter films.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's on Disney Plus.
And Entourage. What are we doing next for the section that you like to call foreign muck?
Well, for that section, we are doing Money Heist.
Yep. Would you like the Spanish title?
No, because I won't be able to pronounce it.
It is called La Casa del Papel, which means the House of Paper. Paper House. Which doesn't really translate.
That is not a good translation of Money Heist.
Well, Money Heist is a terrible title anyway, because what else are you going to heist if not wealth?
Diamonds.
Fair. A gold heist. And the other one we're doing?
Sky Rojo.
Rojo.
You alright? I thought you'd sorted out your throat with your
Rojo. It means red in Spanish.
What does sky mean in Spanish?
Sky.
Oh, that's disappointingly basic.
No, it's not. I don't actually know, because sky is ciel in Spanish, so I think that's just using an English word.
Oh, dare they? That sounded so Brexit. Coming over here, using our language like we asked them to.
Like we demand of them.
Yeah, but I like this year of the foreign.
Yeah. Me too. It certainly makes up for,
6 years of British and American TV shows.
I was going to say all your, thoughts and opinions of people from other cultures, but that too.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, the only people I really don't like are the Belgians.